what's up, you guys? It's Mary.
And Amma.
You guys to like,
share,
subscribe,
and comment
down below, y'all. Today we are going to be talking about the Real Housewives of Potomac. The finale is finally here. Can you guys please let us know down below when is Real Housewives of Atlanta? Because that's what I'm excited to see next. I don't know if they even have a trailer out yet. But just let us know down below.
Yes.
But we're gonna go ahead and get right into it. Mia really had no receipts at all. I'm not gonna go there. I'm really not gonna go there. Okay,
Yeah,
Mia.
that must have just been blank paper.
I think it's very obvious that she really is not as bold when she does not have Jacqueline backing her.
Yes.
She obviously seems really more mute.
Yes.
And really silent. She kind of cowers in, like, you can actually really see that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that was kind of like the yin to her yang.
Yeah.
But to Jacqueline...
You know who I see that with too? Giselle.
Oh, yeah,
when
with
Robin
Giselle.
is on the other side,
yeah.
and she's over here.
She's not talking like this.
She's not. And you could tell in the whole Chris thing, of course, Robin couldn't say anything because she was trying to pretend that she's really on Candice's side. But yeah, Giselle was out there, like you could tell
by herself. She really could not.
And she can't handle it.
And my thing is, do I have an issue with what Candice said? Not at all. I feel like it's actually very accurate because my thing is, I do think probably a lighter skinned person will probably get heard before a dark skinned black woman. You know what I'm saying? Like when there's like a sexual assault accusation. Like the whole thing with R. Kelly versus the Me Too movement. Really nobody would have said anything or even gone forward with the whole stuff with R. Kelly if, you know, the white women had to come out to talk about Harvey Weinstein and all that stuff. And then they were able to kind of hop on that bandwagon and be like, this guy has been doing this for years. Because the black community was silent. Like we had accusations, we had videos, like all of that stuff for years. Everybody was still going there, stepping in the name of love, supporting him. You even had black women going there and like supporting R. Kelly and all that stuff. So I do kind of understand what Candice is saying, where she says like,
I don't think so. With the R. Kelly stuff, I think the reason why, because I was one of the people who was dancing to Step Into the Name of Love.
First of all, I didn't even know about the accusation. I didn't know about a P-tape. I didn't hear nothing until they came out with R. Kelly. So yes, I was still listening to his music, but I didn't know anything.
I did not
If I knew that he had a tape of him peeing on a 14-year-old, there's no way I would be out there listening to his music.
I did not know. Now, I had heard, when I was listening to R. Kelly, I had heard of him doing oral, you know, on someone who was 17. I think I vaguely remember.
You say you heard
someone saying something like that he was doing oral on this 17-year-old. But I was working quite a bit, but I did hear about that. I didn't see anything. I didn't go to look for it. I feel like with the R. Kelly stuff, it's really our community. Yeah. Like I think that the black community has been a community that has been really hush about, you know, SA. You know what I'm saying? We have been really hush, and especially about like pedophilia. That when it happens in our community, especially with families. You know what I'm saying? For us to be silent. Yeah. It's like, oh, well, don't say that because then you're going to ruin this man's life. You know? And so the black victim has to just be quiet. But I feel as though it's not really the world who has caused that. I think it's like an infestation in our community. Yeah. Of not snitching, right? Yeah. Don't tell. Okay, this happened. And then, I mean, even look at with Oprah when she talks about this. Everyone in her family knew that this family member had SA'd her. Yeah. And even though she was Oprah at that time, he was still coming around for family dinners. Yeah. And so she will go to her father's house, still see this man who SA'd her when she was a child. Yeah. But he was still coming around. So when, you know, the more she was Oprah and she was talking with other like therapists on the show, and talking about pedophilia and molestation in not our community but in other communities or whatever, then she realized that I should stand up.
Yeah.
And then she let her father know, look, we all know what this man did. I will, if you let him continue to come by this house, I'm never gonna come here again. This is what I gotta tell you.
Yeah,
and so the father was like, no problem. Told the guy, don't ever come back here. And that's it. But in our community, in the black community, and I think that's why with R. Kelly, it wasn't that people did not believe it happened, but in our community, it's like, let us not air our dirty laundry. And a lot of times that was upheld by black women. Because a lot of times the black men were doing stuff in our community, but especially with the black women, it was being upheld. Don't go, let's not air our dirty laundry to the world. We need to cover our celebrities, It's so hard for a black man. You will hear that so awful. When I came to this country first, that's what I heard all the time. Yeah. And I used to, because I didn't grow up here all the time, not in, I grew up here for elementary school, then I was back home, whatever, but my mindset is different, right, than a regular person or an American, because I'm not American. Well, of course, now I am. I'm an American citizen, but you know what I'm saying. I grew up somewhere else. So for me, I remember, though, when I came here, I remember this saying, and I used to always ask myself, I always heard this, because it's so hard for the black man. I heard that all the time, and I used to think to myself, how about the black woman? If it's hard for the black man, it's harder for the black woman. Just the fact that she's a woman. I always used to think that. Anytime if I went to church with friends, or I went to the mosque with friends, I will hear that. I even heard, I don't know if you guys know Minister Farrakhan. I heard that from his mouth, how hard it is for the black man. I'll hear it in church. When you go, the pastor will say, it's so hard for the black man. And I will think to myself, how about the black woman? And no one is saying it's so hard for the black woman. So I think that when we got like celebrities, black celebrities, especially if they were black male celebrities, there's something in our community, we have to cover them. All their sins, all the awful things they do in the community, we gotta cover. We're not gonna snitch on them because it's hard enough for the black man. And I think that's why it took so long with R. Kelly.
Yeah, for
that
sure.
Had nothing to do with any other race of people. It was our people.
Yeah.
Our people. And the mindset that we had to cover for the black man. And that's why now I'm so happy when you have women standing up and saying, no, this is wrong.
Yeah, but with Candice, I just feel like when she said that, the fact that she's here basically trying to accuse Chris of being, like, sexually assaulting her,
exactly,
when that did not happen.
I know.
The only thing that he, quote-unquote, did was maybe say, let's go to your room and have a conversation, and maybe he was, quote-unquote, a little too inebriated. But he said he didn't
invite to the room.
It just was giving me, like, Karen vibes. Like, yes. You're here trying to say that this man sexually assaulted you.
Yes. You
never, like, for 10 months, you haven't said shit about what he actually did.
Exactly.
And you're basically crying wolf just to protect some cheating bastard who has decided to marry your friend.
Exactly.
But I just felt like it was really ridiculous.
It was ridiculous.
So, her calling her a gutter snipe, lion, snake trick or whatever, because she is using her white-looking aesthetic to go and lie on somebody.
Yeah,
I thought that I'm glad that Candice stood her ground and she stood by what she said, because I just did not find what she said wrong.
Yeah.
I just did not have any. I just wasn't feeling like, oh my God, how dare you say that colorism. My thing is, all of you guys act colorist. When you sit down there, Ashley, and say that Wendy, Candice, they're aggressive, you're being colorist.
Yeah.
And you say it all the time. Oh, you're provoking her.
And
Robin, when you sat down there with your camera, asked Mia threw a drink on her saying that you're being provoking, that was colorist.
And instigating.
Who instigated all that was colorist. You don't have to say anything about someone's skin color for you to be colorist.
Exactly.
So as far as I'm concerned, she she does have to be aware of what Giselle has to be aware of what she says, because she's basically using her privilege to come and say this man basically quote unquote tried to sexually assault me in a room or whatever, which did not happen. And you're basically, I feel like she's using a privilege to do that.
You know, I didn't mind Candice saying that.
No,
I actually did not mind Candice saying that at all.
Because I do believe she is colorist. I do believe she's a top tier colorist.
I do know that Giselle is colorist for sure. And I do not mind Candice going off of her, because when you hurt someone, right, then you get what you get. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to apologize, and I'm happy she didn't apologize.
Yeah.
But for me, I did not find that Giselle was using any kind. I felt as though, this is how I felt. When I found out about the whole sorry about that. I did not feel like, when I first heard that this is what she had said, I felt so disgusted by it when I found out that they did this on purpose for the case of Robin and her cheating husband Juan. I was disgusted by it because I thought to myself, just like what Candice said, how about all the women who actually say they've been sexually assaulted and they actually have been?
Right.
You make it hard for women. That's how I looked at it. Like, I felt like she just made it hard for women, period. Like, for you as a woman to go and say this, first of all, we are in a culture that probably will believe the woman first. Now, with the whole Me Too movement and all that, they will believe the woman first, right? Right away. I mean, it's like you're guilty until proven innocent. Right. When a woman goes out and says that you raped her, right, or that you sexually assaulted her or sexually harassed, we are in a culture now that you're guilty until innocent, instead of the other way around. And I'm fine with that. I actually am, because for the longest time, it's been innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
And then, oh, well, did she ask for it? You know, that's how we had been living before. Mm-hmm. But now it has changed. So, well, the tide has changed. Oh, well, that's how I look at it. However, with Giselle, where she used her light-skinned privilege is when she said to Robin, many a married man has made like a pass to me. Kind of like the way she looks, right?
Yeah.
Many a married man have succumbed or whatever she was trying to say to Robin. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And so that's why when Candice talked about her white privilege, closer to white privilege that she uses with her light skin, she has used that.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, because she said it. Many a married man, and that's what she was trying to insinuate. That many a married man cannot resist me because of how I am. I'm light with green eyes. Because see, when she was coming up and in college, I am sure she had a lot of black men, right? A lot of black young college men, whatever. And even as she got married, a lot of black men will be making a pass at her, because a lot of black men have this self-hating thing.
Yeah.
They don't like their blackness. And so they don't like their blackness. And so they don't like black women that are black like them.
Yeah.
They find anything other than black appealing to them.
Yeah.
Because they have this self-hatred. And so that's where I think when you have a light-skinned woman, and that's the problem. That's the problem they're having. You found these men, one, what's the other dude called, her husband, the pastor?
Jamal.
Yeah, Jamal. You married these men and thought that because they were darker than you, they will stay put.
Yeah.
Because you know that they have a self-hatred in them.
Yeah.
What you fail to realize is this. Going for a man like that, who has self-hatred, who will put down women who look like them, who are as black as they are, those are the kind of men you don't want a man like that. Yeah. Because they have insecurities. They hate who they are. They are never going to be able to stand up for shit because they can't even stand up for the women who look like them. So they lack character. They lack morality. Because if they see a woman dark today being beaten up, they probably will walk away just because she looks like them. So they are not moral people either.
Yeah.
So you thought, let me get a man who's all about my light skin, and you found the worst of the black men.
I mean, that's
what
case.
happens, and that's what's usually the case.
Yeah.
So when you talked to Robin, and you were lying and insinuating sexual, SA about Chris.
Basically, she was insinuating that because of my skin color, he obviously wanted to be with me.
He succumbed to the beauty of my light skin and light eyes. And Robbie, you know what I'm talking about. Many a man. He's a white man, though. He's not a black man, though.
That's my thing. Because the thing is also, most of the time we see with white men,
yes,
they usually don't go for light-skinned black women.
No.
The majority of the time, they will go with somebody who looks like her or look like me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's most of the time, that's what it is.
That's what they go for.
I mean, yes, you have Meghan Markle and Chris, them. I personally think they actually are soulmates. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it really doesn't matter about her color.
Yeah.
But the majority of the time, they're not going for someone who looks like you, Giselle. And you know that. But apparently you forgot. Maybe you thought he had a brown penis, and maybe he's half black or something. Yeah. So maybe the black in him wanted her.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think that's where she used her privilege, and then me getting up there saying she's a black woman. You can't say she has white privilege.
Yeah, she's multi-ethnic.
She's
you can look at it and say, I'm sure both her parents are biracial.
And my thing is, I don't really. My thing is, she's so colorist. I can't really even sit down here and say that this woman is completely black. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I do think that she could be a completely black woman by having two light-skinned parents or whatever, and there's a white person somewhere in the mix, right?
Yeah, she has a lot of whiteness in her family. Please.
I'm sure.
Miss me with that.
So my thing is, she is multiracial. Even if both her parents are black and they're both light skinned, she is multiracial.
A black woman.
Yeah. So my thing is, Mia, you sit down here, you claim that she's a black woman.
Yeah.
Mia, you aren't black yourself either. So please sit down.
Yeah.
And you can't go and say that. You guys use your light skin privilege all the time. And we can tell by who the men that you're actually with.
Exactly.
Okay? So please just sit down. I just felt like Mia getting up and saying
the ugliest of black men.
Yeah.
Not only how they look, and that's
physically, but also
physically
internally.
they are ugly. The men usually the ugliest of the black men, the bottom of the barrel. Yeah. Not only in looks but also in character.
Yeah, and then also actually getting up there saying, well, our conversation meant nothing. You were like tier number 2 colorist. Giselle and Robin are right up there. Yeah. But you are not far behind them either,
No, you're not far.
So our conversation meant nothing. You have showed your colorism several times before.
Yeah.
So please just shut up, Ashley.
I know.
As far as I was concerned. Yeah. So my thing is, all this to say, I did not have an issue with what Candice said. I did not think that she was out of line. I felt like she actually made her points. Yeah. I'm glad that she did not defer and apologize.
Exactly.
And I'm glad, even though I was like, Wendy, don't say nothing because these women don't like you. I'm happy that she didn't continue to go on, be like, Candice, you're wrong. Candice, you're wrong. Exactly. I felt like season 1 she might have.
Yes.
But after she has seen their true colors, she ain't doing all that.
Yes.
She was like, okay.
She's like, oh, okay.
I think she just tried to do it just to maybe because of her career or whatever. Let her not be sitting down there. Yes. And she's like, oh, you didn't say anything.
You didn't say
so
that,
she's trying to be kind of like indifferent.
You gotta be diplomatic.
So let me at least say a little something, but I'm not gonna say much because I mean I kind of agree.
I'm not sticking my damn neck out for no Giselle.
Exactly.
That's for damn sure. That woman pointed at me and said with all the venom she could find.
I don't like her.
I don't like her. The rage with which she said that shit. I'm not going out of my tail for this heifer.
Yeah.
That's what she was thinking.
So I'm glad she didn't say much at all.
Yeah.
But I also am happy that my thing is also I feel like Wendy needs to watch the company she keeps. But I am happy that she clarified what was going on because Mia was trying to basically say she wanted to have some lesbian interaction with her.
I know.
And I was disgusted because I'm like, that's not even Wendy.
I know.
If anybody would do some freaky crap like like, that is your nasty ass and your raggedy looking husband. It would be you.
Yeah.
So if ever she tried to lie on her, I'm glad that Wendy went and she corrected it. My thing is, I felt like...
And she said it, and did you hear Mia say a word and say, no, she didn't say that?
No, because she is a liar. Like Ashley said, they like to put sauce. Lies.
Yeah.
I thought the season was really despicable with all the lies that were being told, and I thought it was very vicious.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of the women...
because you should never, the stuff that Giselle
said...
And I think I said so earlier, there's just certain lines you don't cross.
Yeah.
And that's one of them.
And
lying about some SA that did not happen at all.
Like he said, you could have said no, but
at all. You're the one. He said she was, when remember he showed Candice, he said she was the one who said, let's go to the room.
But
then Giselle was trying to say, but you knew my team was not there. And then she said one of the team guys had told him that he wasn't there or something. Like, are you...
I'm glad that Chris did not back down, and he said that, well, we can agree to disagree.
Exactly.
But you're the one. But I bet you
I was right there by the door. The door was open. I'm standing right there by the door.
It just sounds to me like those women who go and lie on men when they know they're in a predicament they shouldn't be, but they'd rather go lie on the men and save their rear ends. That's what it was giving. That's why, to me, it just seems like she was using... her privilege to do something really shicey.
And I know this is gonna sound really out there, but when I first heard it and found out the reason why and all that stuff, it really gave me like what that Caucasian woman did to Emmett Till.
Yeah, where she lied on him.
That's what it gave me, because the way you see the rage in Chris when he spoke about what he has had to go through.
Yeah.
Losing business. Maybe that's even why they had to eventually sell the restaurant.
Yeah.
Oh,
was that this season? I think that was...
that
was another
But,
season.
he was working for somebody else now.
Yeah.
Like, he got to explain to his job. Like, I am
actually,
not an
they're lying, talking about how, he was in your DMs, you should have came... Like, he wasn't like, you should have came to the W. Wink. He said should have came to the W, that is where he was working.
Exactly.
But you went down there and made something into nothing. Just like how Giselle went made something into nothing to cover Robin's rear end and to cover Juan's rear end.
Well,
I thought it was so shiesty.
Remember when Ashley made something into nothing on purpose? Yeah. That's why I think all three of them were part of this thing. Yeah. With that Sesame Street person. That one that we don't know whether she's... someone did tell us that
she was born a woman. Well...
Because we did not... she certainly did not look that way. And actually, somebody else in the comments says, oh, really? I didn't even know she was a woman. I also thought she was trans.
Her eyebrows were up to here. Like, she looked like a drag queen.
Yeah, I think what has happened in her case is that too much surgery.
I mean,
she's had too much, and she's gotten really contorted weirdly in her face.
I feel like...
That's how I feel.
I feel like people should really just not touch what God has created most of the time. Because Little Kim was so beautiful. She went and effed herself up.
She really did.
Just effed herself up.
She did it too much.
She really should not have touched her face at all. Yeah. But I do believe it was back in that day where black men really wanted black women to look a certain way. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They wanted them to have European features, know, have the long hair, have a smaller nose. Because she had a pretty big nose. Like, she had the really nice button nose. Oh. You know what I'm saying? She had a very beautiful round face. She had these beautiful black features.
Really
she
beautiful.
Went and just... got all these European features. Small nose, tiny mouth. Like, it was just very odd.
Yeah. And that really comes from the black man's self-hatred of his looks. Yeah. And of African features. Yeah. And then we follow them like idiots.
But now you see everybody there getting their lips done.
How we naturally look. It's just retarded. But Ashley, I thought it was very disgusting. She made, just as she did with the whole W, I think that woman knew exactly what the W stood for. I think just as how she made a big thing of her friend Deborah, how Eddie's flirting and Chris was like flirting with her friend or whatever when the friend was so thirsty all in Chris's face.
Smiley Eddie. My thing is, Chris, at some point, my thing is I do feel like sometimes I feel like he forgave Giselle too easily.
Way too quickly.
Like, I mean, your wife has been there standing up for you. You said, well, she apologized. But I feel like after she said the white privilege and stuff, he was just like, well, let me just forgive her because this is going a bit too far. That's what I think
You know what I think about Chris?
Because I think
remember
he gets
Chris,
uncomfortable when she talks about the white privilege stuff. I think it makes him uncomfortable sometimes. Because he is a white
because
man.
He's Caucasian, he's always going to
feel some type of way.
Uncomfortable for some reason,
maybe the guilt from his ancestors or whatever the case may be.
I think Caucasians are very uncomfortable talking about that. All the Caucasian friends I've had, they always become very moot.
Oh yeah.
Talking about that in public. They may talk to you about it. Like if you're talking and we're just talking as friends, you will hear what they really think. Yeah. But in a public forum, no, I will leave that alone before someone comes and calls me a racist.
I had a friend, white girl. I had a Caucasian friend, in college or whatever. And I think I was so really hurt and moved by the whole George Floyd thing. I was talking about it so much during the Black Lives Matter and stuff. And she really just did not say anything. And I was just like, we have been close all these years and she's not saying anything. What is really going on? She went like this.
Mute.
But I had a white friend named Gage and he was very much so for the cause and he would post and everything. And I was just like, why isn't Liz being more like Gage? The whole thing. I think because
Liz is like, Lord, I'm not going to touch this with a 10-foot pole. Shoot. Actually, for myself, for the longest time, I was afraid as an African to talk about race issues. Yeah. Because I'm not African American. Right? Yeah. I used to be very afraid. Honestly, you will not find me speaking about it. If I am sitting down with African Americans and they're talking about some race, I will not say anything because you know why? My viewpoints might be different. Yeah. And I don't want them to say, oh, I am, loving on people. I want to say, oh, she's this Caucasian lover or something. Yeah. Or whatever, or I don't understand it. And I've always, I always realize that my viewpoints will be different, but when I first got here, you will not find me talking about none of that stuff.
I mean, we were watching a Sister Wives episode. I mean, and we do have a pretty good chunk of our subscribers who are Caucasian because they come from the Sister Wives videos that we do, right? Yeah. I remember we weren't even talking about race. We were talking about Suki's culture. There was 4 or 5 of them in the comment section talking about, please don't make it about race. Oh my God, it's not about. I said culture and race are two different things. Yeah. And then one girl's like, don't make it something that's not. We listen, please do not be a sheep here following the comment section.
Yeah, I remember that because they felt and I was just talking about she probably
because she's Indian and stuff like that.
By her name, her name is an Indian name. Yeah, and I just thought she's probably from an Indian culture. Yeah, and so with her, she's not going to be talking to a man in a
confrontational way.
She wouldn't. Yeah, she's not going to ask him any questions to make him feel uncomfortable because we are programmed. Yeah. To make a man feel comfortable, especially.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's a patriarchy in most of these countries.
So it was nice to have someone who was Indian in our group say, yes, she actually is Indian, and yes,
that is actually
our culture.
I know, and but they were there making it about race. I'm like, y'all looked in Webster and culture and race are two different things. I think that's what it is. So I mean,
you don't know.
You feel guilty about stuff. You know what I'm saying. So exactly, I mean, I understand
exactly. So. But
let's go ahead and talk about the other stuff because we're already at 30 minutes talking about everything else and stuff. Okay, so. What was it? Apparently, Juan knew about some sexual misconduct that was happening between an assistant coach and a student. Yeah. And Rob was like, I stand with him and all this stuff. Allegedly.
He is trying to say that there is a lawsuit out. Yeah. And Juan is trying to say that, look, I either he did not know it or, but, yeah. He wasn't aware that SA had happened between this assistant coach and the student. But there is a lawsuit. That is why I was concerned for Robin not having the prenup.
She has not gotten the prenup. Lied. She has not even put in the fidelity clause. She said she did not do that because she wants to say, well, I'm setting myself up because what if I want to have an affair? Listen, you have not been having an affair this whole time. You have been going back to this man like an idiot. The last thing you're going to do is go cheat on him. Why would she be doing that? But the thing is, I doubt Robin will ever do anything because say he cheated, right? But if she cheats, he's going to have a whole field day and go off on her.
Yeah.
Robin will never go do that, but she's trying to maybe be like, well, what if I set myself up?
Girl,
you're the breadwinner. How are you setting yourself up? Yeah. Well, I guess you could set yourself up. I don't think she would cheat on Juan ever. Yeah. I think she's just trying to cover his rear end.
Robin just told a lie. That's what we saw. Because after this reunion, she actually had an interview. I don't know what the woman's name was, but she had an interview with her, and she said, the woman asked her, did you sign that prenup before? And she said no.
Yeah.
She said no. And this was after.
Yeah.
After we found out that she got married and all that. So I don't think Robin, I don't think she got the prenup. But I think at the reunion, just like she was lying
she got the prenup,
and not talking about Juan, right?
Yeah.
I felt like she didn't want to look stupid. She has already looked stupid. Remember.
Yeah.
She was there. She knew that this man had cheated on her and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And she had married him anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think she wanted to look extra stupid later.
Yeah.
So she just went ahead and just said, yeah, we did it 50-50, but there's no infidelity clause. Girl.
All right.
Just, Robin, you know something? And
she's not very bright.
I don't think she's very bright.
And Juan treats her like that.
I don't think she's
not very bright. And I'm not even saying it to be shady, but I actually don't think she's a bright woman. I just really don't.
You know something? I don't want to say that. I've said that many times about her. But you know what? I just realized something actually.
What you realize?
I think that this woman, she has known Juan for so long. He has broken her down. He has broken her open. He has broken her in all the ways you can break a woman. That's how I feel. And because of that, she is so far removed from the essence of who she is. She don't know what's up, what's down.
Yeah.
She was mixing something.
A drink.
And then she put it back down on the table. She was rubbing her head. Her face was all red in the interview with Andy. Like, I actually felt sorry for her. I really did. Because I know how that feels. I know how that feels. Where you actually begin to think that you're dumb.
Yeah.
But you're not. So she appears not to be very bright. But I don't think that she's not very bright. I think that this man has broken her in all the ways you can break a woman. I think that's what's happened. And he has just been this infestation. He's like a fucking cancer.
Yeah, in her life.
In her life that has stayed put like some goddamn leech. That's what I think. And what is sad is that I don't know if she'll ever get out of it.
She might be like a Mary.
I just
Mary
don't know.
Brown.
I don't know. I think maybe when she gets into her mid-50s, maybe she'll start seeing, or 60, maybe she'll start seeing the light. Because this man is only going to get worse. This man is never going to get better.
Yeah.
He's going, because you have allowed him to mistreat you, to just run roughshod on you for so long. And it's a habit with him in the way he mistreats you, and he's never going to get better. And it's only going to take her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe when you go to your mid-50s, you're almost 60, maybe by then, either she will catch a clue or he will dump her.
Yeah, but
either way, it'll be a blessing in disguise.
But yeah, let's wrap up with Charisse. She came out there. You know, I just want to say.
Did we say that we found out that the housewife who had an affair with Katie was Charisse?
You know, Charisse at this point in life needs to like at this point, you know, that lady.
She's telling all his secrets, and you know that's what I suspected. When they said Katie said there's a housewife of Potomac she had an affair with, my first thought was Charisse.
I thought Ashley.
No, I thought it was Charisse because I said Charisse out here living foul, making up all kinds of stories about Karen that are her personal stories. Yeah. And she gets a kick out of telling people these personal stories, but saying it's someone else and having them be like, "Oh my God!"
But she basically admitted that she lied and only said this just because she was mad at her. Because you were telling all these people about you, and you were lying on me. Oh, you called this woman a hoe. You said she was bent over in the bathroom. You called her a prostitute.
Cherise was bent over in the bathroom.
What type of character assassination is that? What type of character assassination is that? And then you have the nerve to bring your daughter with you on the show as you have been lying to all these people, probably talking about your sexual escapades.
That's what she talked about.
You just a trifling human being.
That is
real
exactly
trifling.
What she talked about. And she gets a kick.
And Karen even said it. I never have said anything about you that was sexually inappropriate. Because you have children.
I know.
It ain't right. It actually is not right. Just spreading lies. As your drunk ass was in the strip club.
They are her truths. She just put somebody else's name on it. I'm telling you, this happened. I'm telling you, I had a girlfriend who will tell me all these fantastic stories about her best friend.
Yeah.
Come to find out,
it was all
about her.
Yeah.
And when I found that out, I was like, wow.
Oh yeah, but also I just want to wrap up quickly with this because Mia talked about EIN number. You can get that over the phone.
Yeah,
he inspired you to get an employee identification number.
Yeah.
She tried to use some fluffy words.
I know. And then she was like, please, well, we inspired you for entrepreneurship. Mia, please go sit yourself down.
Please,
somewhere.
You are broke, have no house. The last person you're inspiring is anybody. Please sit yourself down.
Mia, inspire yourself. Inspire yourself to get out of that relationship.
And
it is dragging you down. I know you guys got in the relationship when, for whatever reason. Don't stay in that. Don't stay in that, Mia. Yeah. I think that Mia wants better for her life. She really does. She just doesn't know how to get out of it. You know why? I saw the shame in her face when her husband was saying all that craziness with Wendy's staycation that she had.
Yeah.
I saw the kind of shame that she had. She tried to cover it up.
Yeah.
But she had some shame with that man.
When he saw all the white women?
Yeah, and then he was doing all this stuff and how he met her in a strip club. Like he was just being so...
I mean, even Mia said, no, she don't like black women, she likes white women or something.
I was just like, wow. And your wife is biracial. What are you trying to tell? That she's not good enough? And did he tell her to shut the F up? Yes. He would... And so I saw the shame in her face. She tried to cover it up, of course. But the shame is there. So that shows me that she wants better for her life. And Mia, you can actually have better for your life. You don't need this man. Yeah. You really don't actually need this person in your life. You don't.
Yeah.
You can make it on your own without him.
Yeah. But it's Mary.
And Alma.
We want you guys to like,
share,
subscribe,
and comment
down below.